Hello, this afternoon we are talking to Marilu Schmier. She is the author of Waiting for Weston, a book that is out in spring of 2012. The book is available for purchase through Amazon.com or her website, WestonSchmier.com. Now, Marilu, Weston is your second child.
Yes.
And before he was born, did you have any feelings or anything that would indicate to you that this child was going to be different than your first child?
Well, as a matter of fact, I did. When I was pregnant with Weston, I decided that there was a possibility that I might want to stay home and raise both my children. I had an older son at the time, Randall. I didn't know if Weston was going to be a boy or a girl. And so as a result, I thought, well, let me go ahead and look to see if there's some type of business I can do at home and where I can, make some money and kind of help along with the family's finances. So I was doing medical transcription, and I was just learning how to do it. And there was times when Dawn was working, and so it was in the evening, and Randall would be upstairs sleeping, and so I would be able to devote myself to learning this new skill. And I was really torn about if I should stay home or if I should go back to work. So there was, I would oftentimes pray about my decision, what I should do, and please God show me a sign. And one night, I did get a sign. I was practicing my transcription, and I was kind of crying off and on, like, what should I do? And suddenly I heard in my head, you're going to have a son, which I didn't know at the time I was going to be having a son, and there's going to be something wrong with him. And I heard that very distinctly, but almost immediately after that, I had a knowingness, I'll say that now, that there was going to be something wrong with him. That's true, which is what I heard, but that he would be okay by the time he was 5. And I was speechless. It was very, very profound.
I can imagine. Well, that message, did it come to you like a human voice? Was it a feeling? Did it come to you like a thought?
Actually it was like a voice in my head. And I remember I was sitting there, doing my transcription work, and I pulled off the headphones, and I just, sat back in my chair for a second and thought, oh my God, did I just hear that? And I've never had that before, and it was so profound that I'll never forget it. And the second half, which was, he'll be fine by the time he's 5, that was just a knowingness that I had, that I just felt. But the first part was definitely a voice, and it scared me.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Have you heard a voice since?
No. No, I can't think of a time that I've heard one since then. No.
Now, you mentioned age 5 is when you knew Weston would be okay. What was the age that you started noticing, any differences about Weston?
At about 2 weeks of age. Actually, when he was born, it was a very easy pregnancy. I didn't have any issues. It was a very quick delivery. So I was thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. Maybe God was wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe, I'm going to go back to work. And I had already kind of convinced myself that, oh, I'm going to go back to work now. And I was sitting in the hospital room, and my doctor came in, and he said, we're going to have a cardiologist visit Weston tomorrow. There's something wrong with his heart, possibly. And don't worry about it. It's probably nothing, or it's something that we can do with antibiotics, but there's something wrong with his heart. And he left, and Dawn had already gone home, so I was by myself at the time. And I, after crying a little bit and thinking, and I thought, oh, that's not so bad, God. I can go back to work. And I remember thinking that very clearly because the message was so profound, and it still stuck with me 2 months, later. And I really thought I had dodged a bullet. And but of course that wasn't the case when the cardiologist came in the next day. It really wasn't any big deal, Weston's heart situation. So again, I thought, well, that's he really doesn't need surgery. They're just going to monitor it. And but then after, I'd say at the 2-week checkup is when we started noticing, Dawn and I, that he just really wasn't acting like a newborn would. So it was pretty quickly after that.
Well, thank you, Marilu. This is just the start of a multiple series of interviews with Marilu. We'll be back.